Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to walk you through obtaining your very own Lucid Nightmare Mount. This mount is really cool, and in order to obtain it, we're going to have to go through a lot of different puzzles, but we'll make it really easy. Alright, so let's get right into it. Our first note is going to be found in the Legion version of Dalaran, and you're going to want to enter the shop called Curiosities and More. You can see it's right here, so it's very close to where you would spawn in at. Once inside, you're going to head up the stairs on the left-hand side, and there should be a table immediately upon getting to the top floor, and on the table will be an inconspicuous note that you'll need to click on and read in order to activate this whole series of events. Once you've interacted with the note, we'll now head over to Uldar, and we're going to be entering this raid. You can enter Crystal Song Forest in order to make your way over here, and we're going to be heading into Storm Peaks, and then at the very top is the Uldar raid. You'll need to enter this. The difficulty and all that don't matter for this, but you will be heading towards the very back, towards the XT002 Deconstructor boss, which you can see right here. You'll want to kill this boss and clear out any mobs in the room, because for our first puzzle, it's going to take up quite a bit of space. So in this room, at the far back left, you're going to want to make your way up this big pile of scraps and parts, and towards the front of the pile will be a rusty lever that is attached to a mechanome head that you'll need to interact with in order to bring the 20 by 20 grid of tiny little lights to spawn in the center of the room. So for this, you're going to want to click on the lights to create a design, and once you click on them, the lights will turn green, indicating that you've turned it on, and this will make it really easy, because if you mess up, you can simply just go back and click on it again to turn it off. This design that's up on the screen now is what it should look like, and this helped me a lot when making my pattern. Once you've completed the correct design, a new inconspicuous note will replace the grid that you just completed. You'll need to head over and interact with it in order to move on to our next puzzle. For the third note, you can head over to Uldar, and we're going to actually be making our way towards Silithus. They're located over in Kalimdor. We're actually going to be heading towards the raid Temple of Ankaraj, and once again, the difficulty and all that don't matter for this, but there are a lot of really cool mounts you can get in here simply by killing the mob. There's the blue, yellow, green, and red, so there's 4 mounts that you can get in here. So once you're inside, you'll kill every boss except for this one that's in the very topmost right hand side, and you're gonna make your way past this group of people towards the end, and going up these stairs on the right hand side, you're gonna come across a mind larva who's sitting on the table. You'll simply click on it to interact. You'll probably want to scroll in order to do this puzzle, but it's basically just like Bejeweled. So for this, we're going to want to get 5 of these brains lined up, and the easiest way to do this is to get 2 on each side of a center middle piece to line up like this, and then once you've gotten that, you can drop the 5th one down in order to complete the puzzle. Once you do that, your next inconspicuous note will spawn, and then we can now move on to our 4th note. For the 4th note, we're going to need a shadow weave mask, which you can purchase from the auction house, or you can even craft yourself, but we're going to be heading towards Deepholm, which you can do by heading over to the Earth Shrine and taking the purple portal over. You'll see a big black hole on the map, and this is where we're going to be heading, but make sure that you put your shadow weave mask on before you enter into this area. So once inside, you're going to navigate all around the cave. There is a colossal gray worm that goes around in a circle. Don't let it touch you, or it will pick you up and put you all the way back at the entrance. Once you've made it past the worm, you're going to find this dark fissure, which is not very far from the entrance of the room. You'll need to click it. It's going to ask if you want to drop down into it. You're going to say yes. All right, so once you've entered into this dark cavern, you're going to head all the way to the back, and you'll see there's a single chair, and it has 2 notes on it. So there's one right on the seat that you'll want to interact with, and the second note is a little harder to see, but it is located at the on the back of the chair at the very bottom. You can see that little white square here. You're going to have to interact with this one too, so make sure you interact with both of them before you leave. And at this point, you're going to have to portal or teleport out because there's no way to escape. For 5th note, you're going to head towards this dungeon that is in Ironforge. I'm not going to try and say its name because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna mess it up, but you're going to head all the way through this dungeon. Once you make it to the launch bay, you're going to drop down, and then you're gonna see that there are 2 walkways. There's a large entrance and then a smaller door. You're gonna want to take that door on the left and run all the way down, and then towards the left hand side, once you make that turn, you're going to be met with a bunch of little machines here up against the wall. This will be our next puzzle. So from the launch bay, you're going to head straight down, and then all of the machines are going to be right here. You'll interact with each of the machine, and you can change the number that's on the front. You can change the number on the machine by interacting with the lever to go up or down, and these are the numbers for each corresponding machine that you'll need to make sure that the number reads. Once you've gotten all of the numbers correct on each of the machines, your next Inconspicuous note will spawn, and you'll need to interact with this. Once you've completed this puzzle and interacted with the note, we can now move on to our 6th puzzle. For our 6th location, we'll be heading to Val'sharah, that is in Broken Isles. And you can see this little red zone, and there's a cave over here. This is where we're going to want to head towards. And the house that we're going to need to enter is on top of the hill that's by that cave that I showed you on the map. Once inside, on the left hand side, there's going to be a nightmare tumor. You're going to need to interact with this, and this will start your next puzzle. So for this one, you're also going to want to zoom in and go to a first person view. This will make it much easier. And for this puzzle, you're just going to want to try and untangle all of these threads. And once you have one side correct, it will turn blue to indicate that it is free from being tangled with the others. And you're going to need to do that for all of them. So the pattern doesn't matter, just as long as they are all blue, then you've completed the puzzle and it will complete itself. And your next Inconspicuous note will appear below your feet. You'll need to interact with this, and then we can move on to our 7th note. For our 7th note, we're going to head to Kun-Lai Summit, which is in Pandaria. You're going to head towards these caves, and you're going to head towards these smaller structures over by Mugushan Terrace. Once here, you can peek inside and see the statues. You're going to be looking for the urn that's in between the statue's feet. And this will bring us to our very last puzzle. So once inside, you're going to run up to the urn and interact with it. It's going to ask if you want to consume the ashes, and you will, and then it will now transport you to the Endless Halls. So for the Endless Halls, this is a huge maze that has 5 different colored orbs and runes that correspond to one another. There's red, yellow, green, blue, and purple. You'll need to find each of the orbs and bring them to their respected runes in order to complete this puzzle. I ran mine blind, and it took me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to complete this puzzle. While inside the Endless Halls, you do get a speed buff, so your character runs quite a bit quicker in order to make it through here. But like I said, there are 5 different colors, so maybe just settle in with a snack and get some good music going in order to complete this maze. Once you've turned in all of the orbs to their respected ruins, you're going to need to exit through any available door in your room, and it will then transport you to the next area. So there's going to be a table in front of you that you'll need to run up to and interact with the Inconspicuous note. This will be our last note, and once you've interacted with it, we can now head over to go and get our Lucid Nightmare Mount. In order to obtain this mount now, we'll need to head over to our final location, which is Deadwind Pass, and you're gonna need to enter the crypt that's behind Karzan. And you can see the plot is located just here by the master pet tamer as well. So you're going to enter down into the Forgotten Crypt, and I'm going to speed it up here so you can see the direction you need to navigate. And once you come to this first intersection, you're going to want to take the right hand path all the way down. And then you're going to follow it left and continue straight down this path. You'll come to a room full of mounds of dirt, and you're going to make your way towards the back left. There's water and you'll just need to swim down. And at the back left, you're going to make your way to this water. You'll swim down and turn around and actually go through the entrance that's below that. Once you make it through the waterway, go towards the left-hand side again, and you'll see a giant pile of bones. And at the very top of it will be your Lucid Nightmare reward.